Alright, I'm ready. I'm logged in on my phone, cleared my schedule, and have plenty of time. Now, I'm ready to pick up some secret layers. Alright, so it looks like the only one that interests me from this drop is the commander deck. A little expensive, but at least I'll get my money's worth. And I'm in the queue. Estimated waiting time, half an hour. That'll probably change. But now that we got some time, let's clean up around the house. Wait, whoa, really? Already? Alright, I was expecting to wait longer, but I'll take it. And ordered. That was easy. A little too easy. Why was the checkout so fast? Like, did Wizards finally figure out Secret Lair, or was there not enough interest in this drop? Whatever. I got what I wanted. I'm happy. Wow, shipping already. Alright, cool. I wonder if any of the other Secret Lairs sold out yet. I didn't get an email or anything like I usually do. I hope the first one sold out wasn't the $100 set of Raised Gold Foil burn spells. That one was egregious, paying that much for just commons. Wait, what? They're still available? Uh-oh. Either everyone hated this drop, or people are choosing to wait and spend their money on the Festival in a Box next week. Or for Final Fantasy. Interesting. Well, it probably won't be long for something to sell out, but even weirder that nothing's even on a low stock. Oh yeah, wasn't the Festival in a Box going on sale today? I wasn't really interested. I don't get a lot of value from opening boxes. I mean, you've seen my pack a days. That's mainly what the Secret Lair is, plus a few promos. Well, let's check it out just to see. And it's sold out, naturally. Wait, are all of last week's super drops still available? Bruh, it's been like a week. I would have expected some of these to sell out quickly, but no. And none of them are on low stock. Somebody at Wizards messed up. Yeah, so I thought about picking up some Final Fantasy Secret Lairs today, but none of them really interested me. I mean, these look cool and everything, but I never played Final Fantasy, and the normal Magic versions are just cheaper, so I decided to pass on it. Oh yeah? Well, while you're waiting in line to see if Wizards gives you the privilege of buying your Colossal Hammer, I'm saving my money, worry-free, and heading to the gym. Uh-huh. Oh, while you're on the website, can you see if that Commander deck is still up for sale? It is? What the f***? I can still buy this. You can still buy this. I mean, how did this happen? I know that this drop wasn't very popular, and the prices were a little bit much, and the themes were weird, but I mean, hell, I only bought the Commander deck, so I wasn't really interested in anything else anyway. But to have like a month, over a month, pass and everything's still available, if that doesn't send a strong message to Wizards about what consumers want out of Secret Lairs, I don't know what will. Was the timing off? Was releasing it right before another big Secret Lair drop too much competition for it? Or was the competition with Final Fantasy, so people would rather spend their money on that and just save their money? Or were the consumers just over Wizards producing sloppy products and just didn't trust the system anymore? I don't know. It's hard to say. But it's also not my problem to figure out. Wizards made this problem, and they can get themselves out. But in the meantime, let's crack this open and have some fun. Hey everybody, this is Jared here on MTG, coming at you today with another Secret Lair unboxing. This one is the Secret Lair Commander Everyone's Invited Commander deck. Maybe like once or twice a year, Wizards of the Coast releases these special Secret Lair Commander decks, and this one is very interesting, which is what we're going to get into today. Before we get into that, just a quick reminder to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Every view counts here. And I'm very close to my goal of 500 subscribers, so if you want to help and join me on this journey, I'd really appreciate it. So, now, Secret Lair, Commander, everyone's invited. Now, what I wasn't really expecting is the special gift that was included with the Super Drop. I think it was like some sort of like pencil Super Drop, because they gave me the Secret Lair pencil. This is a real black pencil, and it has the Secret Lair logo. I don't know if this is coming across great. Oh, my camera hates this. It has the Secret Lair logo embossed on the end of the pencil, and past that, it's just a pencil. I don't know what to do with this pencil. So I have no idea if it's worth anything, but it's mine and I guess I have it now. Back to the commander deck. So everyone's invited. It has a very strange theme. And the theme of this deck, every commander deck has like a really like ingratiated theme, is tribal or kindred, which, by the way, I don't really get the name change. I mean, I do get the name change, but I also don't get it. Like, I don't know. They change it for sensitivity issues, which I totally understand. But like, I mean, as a white man, I didn't really see it as a sensitivity issue. I know that the term tribal has been used in like colonial texts. All this to say is that I suffer from magic boomer brain, so I'm going to be interchangeably using the word tribal and kindred. But the one word that I will absolutely refuse to use is typal. Ugh. I hate that word, typal. It's a mouthful. It gives me, I think it was like, what was it, Evan Kelp from Dimension 20? Like, Evan Kelp. It's a mouthful. You have to eat the word, and I feel that with typal. So, I don't know. I don't get it, but I also get it. I didn't really know anybody who was offended by the word tribal, but I don't know. It's probably better. So, everyone's invited. Got a little disco ball here. Let me tell you what, my partner really likes these adult deck boxes because they're really good at holding the cards here. But yes, this deck is what I'm going to call tribal, where it's basically it was a popular deck building challenge, I want to say a couple years ago. The whole main purpose of the deck is to play all the cards that care about other creature types. So we'll see that in just a moment, but look at this little life counter. I don't really use these life counters, but they're really pretty. Huh. Looks like we got this little insert to probably give us a synopsis of what's going on in this deck. Also, artwork. This really isn't a good picture here on the camera, but I'll show the card later. I really like this artwork. Let's see. Morophon the Boundless, Maskwood Nexus, Kindred Semus, Raise the Palisade, Bitter Blossom, Taurean Mauler, Tendertree Dryad, Avenger of Zendikar, Coat of Arms, Soul Ring, and 4 Shapeshifter tokens. These are literally, this doesn't say anything. I wish this would say more about what the deck wants to do. Why does it just say all the special art cards? Well, whatever. I'll answer all of my own questions. So, yes, so it's a very popular deck building challenge because a lot of the cards, how do I open this? A lot of the cards that care about creature types really only care about one of the creature types. Literally, how do I open this? There's a little peely strip here, but there's no peely end. Uh-oh. Well, let's see if I can just rip right into it. It's an interesting deck builder challenge because all of the cards that like care about creature types care about a singular creature type. So you have to like play like this balancing act to try and make sure that everybody's affected by everything, or like everything's getting affected the most out of what you're doing. And the face commander that they chose here, this is the extra thick card. You can see that it's extra thick. Is Morophon the Boundless. So for 7 generic mana, you get a legendary creature Shapeshifter as a 6/6 with Changeling. And Changeling is like the main thing in this deck. Because Changeling means that this creature, or this spell, or this permanent, has all creature types in all zones. So Changeling cards are very important because they are affected and are affected by all of your other effects that care about creature types. But the thing about Morophon, and why Morophon is super crazy, is that spells of the chosen type, well, as it enters, you choose a creature type, then spells of the chosen type you cast cost white, blue, black, red, green less to cast. If this effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay, and other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. So, this whole deck is just trying to basically play as many things as you can, just overwhelm your opponent with your party. Everybody's invited to the party. And the interesting thing about this deck is that, like a majority of this deck are shapeshifters. So naturally you would want to choose shapeshifter whenever you cast your Morophon. But that's not really the case here, because similar to Morophon, all or most of the shapeshifters here also have changeling. So they're also every other creature type. So if you choose shapeshifter, you're ignoring a good portion of the deck that is here. So actually, what I would recommend if you play this deck or play like a typal deck or kindred deck like this, is to choose human, because there are more humans in this deck than any other creature type, excluding the shapeshifters, which are every creature type, so it really doesn't matter. So, Morophon in this beautiful artwork by Natalie Andrewson. Wow, I really can't read. Natalie Anderson. Let's move on to the next one. And also, this foiling is pretty neat. I like it. Raise the Palisade, 4 mana and a blue, sorcery, choose a creature type, return all creatures that aren't the chosen type to their owner's hands. So basically you play out your board, see what your most common creature type is, choose something that's not that, and return them all back to your hand. A cheaper Cyclonic Rift for your opponent's creatures. And no matter what creature type you choose, your changelings will stick, which is pretty fun, especially in this deck. Also, great artwork by, if I can read this time, Jordan Spear. We've got Bitter Blossom. Everybody loves Bitter Blossom. I say sarcastically and unironically. So for 1 and a black, you get a Kindred enchantment, fairy. So that means this is a fairy spell for any other effect that cares about like fairy permanence. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and create a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying. So just a perpetual, I make a 1/1 on my turn, I make a 1/1 on my turn, which is really great in decks that play like Skull Clamp or any like Aristocrats deck. Just make a 1/1. Here's the artwork for what was in that insert, this Taurian Mauler. So for 2 mana and a red, you get a shapeshifter with changeling, so it's all creature types. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and it's a 2/2. The bigger they are, the harder they drop beats. I don't really care for this flavor text, but this Minotaur is hot, so he gets a pass. Also, he gets absolutely huge, given enough time. Avenger of Zendikar. Everybody loves Avenger of Zendikar, and I say that unironically. So for 5 generic and 2 green, you get a 5/5 elemental. When this creature enters, you make a 1/1 green plant creature token for each land you control. And landfall, whenever a land you control enters, you may put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. This card goes completely out of hand in any mono green landfall deck, or any landfall deck really that can play Avenger of Zendikar. Mainstay in Commander ever since like its inception. So having this really cool artwork by Wojciech Lebski. Oh my god, I butchered that pronunciation. Kindred Summons. For 5 generic and 2 green, instant, choose a creature type. Reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards of the chosen type, where X is the number of creatures you control of that type. Put those cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest of the revealed cards into your library. Bring your friends' friends, and their friends too. Kindred Summons is great. Nothing more to say except it's the artist of Caroline Garbia. Tendershoot Dryad. This card is dumb. So for 4 generic and a green, you get a Dryad creature, 2/2 with Ascend. So that means, what does Ascend mean? As long as you control a creature with Ascend and 10 permanents, you gain the city's blessing. And the city's blessing doesn't do anything on its own, but other creatures may refer to, or other spells and effects may refer to you having the city's blessing. So at the beginning of each upkeep, remember each upkeep, not just your own, you create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. Then Saprolings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing. So in this deck, you're just going to poop out a whole bunch of Saprolings, and then all of your other creatures that also happen to be Saprolings, like your Changelings, are also Saprolings. They'll get the +2/+2 buff as well. So this card in this deck with this art is wonderful. Coat of Arms. Coat of Arms is great, 5 generic for an artifact. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature on the battlefield that shares at least one creature type with it. And this card can get busted in any tribal strategy, whether it's goblins or elves or slivers. It just gets crazy because like all of a sudden like you have like a bunch of 1/1s on your board and then you plop this down and all of a sudden they're like 30/30s. Like, okay, sure, why not? But do be careful with the Coat of Arms because you can also help your opponents. Coat of Arms does not discriminate against like players, so your opponents will also get the necessary buffs of their creature types if they happen to be playing a tribal deck of their own. Maskwood Nexus. For 4 generic, you get an artifact that creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. This card is great and is a mainstay in any tribal deck that runs something that isn't of the creature type. Like I know I play Scarecrows, and a lot of Scarecrows are artifacts, so I play Padim. But Padim is not a Scarecrow, but if I plop down the Maskwood Nexus, he just becomes a Scarecrow and gets all the Scarecrow benefits. So, yep, so Maskwood Nexus, you just choose a creature type, and you're off to the races. It also has an ability for 3 generic mana and tap, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changelings. So it just makes a dude that gets all the Changeling benefits. And of course we got the lovely Soul Ring. Just, it's a Soul Ring, 1 mana artifact, tap it to add 2 colorless. Seems pretty good, and this art is very pretty. Wear starlight like a crown and dare the moon to dance with you. That's very pretty. I actually like how the foiling kind of like shines on the halo on this character. It's pretty neat. I also think this is who the party is for, but I cannot confirm because I know absolutely nothing about the inner workings of this drop. So now we're into well, we're already into the 99, but the non-special art of this. So Harper Recruiter, 3/1 flyer. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a cleric card, a rogue card, a warrior card, and or a wizard card from among them, and put those cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Oh yeah, this was from Ballads for Baldur's Gate. Even though it's a reprint that you see down here with the Planeswalker symbol. Yeah, Ballads for Baldur's Gate cared about forming a party, and those are all the party ones, which all your changelings are. They're also clerics, they're also rogues, they're also warriors and wizards. So that's fun. Stick Together, another Battle for Baldur's Gate. Each player chooses a party from among creatures they control, then sacrifices the rest. So to choose a party, you choose up to one each of cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard, and then you'll sacrifice the rest. So basically, if your opponent doesn't have a cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard on their field, their stuff gets board wiped and you get to keep 4 of your things. So that's a pretty neat inclusion here as a board wipe. Tazri, Beacon of Unity. I remember when this card came out like several years ago. So it is a legendary human warrior 4/6. The spell costs 1 less for each creature in your party, another creature that cares about party. It could also be an alternate commander because it has all the other mana symbols in here. So for a hybrid blue and colorless, hybrid black and colorless, hybrid red and colorless, hybrid forest and green and colorless, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and or ally cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. This card also strangely cares about allies, even though there weren't any allies in the block where she came out of. But yes, this is very good. It can refill your hand and just keep the party going. Arcane Adaptation, similar to Maskwood Nexus, is a blue enchantment. As it enters, you choose a creature type. Then creatures you control are the chosen type, in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards that you own that aren't in the graveyard. Just more redundancy in this deck to try and make sure that we actually get to do our thing. Double Down, this is a new enchantment from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Whenever you cast an outlaw spell, you copy that spell. So, changelings are also assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. So if you cast anything with those creature types or a thing with changeling, you get another copy of that spell, which can just snowball into a lot of value. Kindred Discovery, what would be a tribal deck in blue without Kindred Discovery. As it enters, you choose a creature type, probably just humans, unless you have like a whole bunch of fairies in your hand, probably just humans. Whenever a creature you control the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. So what this deck wants to do is that if you've got a creature with changeling, you're gonna draw a card every time it enters or attacks. Just keeping the party going. Black Market Connections. This card's dumb. An enchantment at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you choose one or more, and you have to choose at least one. Create a treasure token, you lose a life. Draw a card, you lose 2 life. And or create a 3/2 colorless shapeshifter creature token with changeling, and you lose 3 life. So just more dudes and additional value. This card is great. Kindred Dominance, wonderful. It's a 7 mana sorcery. Choose a creature type, then destroy all creatures that aren't of the chosen type. So I know that this card is played a lot in elves or dragons because they can actually like get up to the mana to cast this, and it's just a great board wipe for the Kindred decks. Magda, Brazen Outlaw. This one's weird. It's a 2/1 legendary dwarf berserker. Other dwarves you control get +1/+0. Whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, create a treasure token. Then you can sacrifice 5 treasures to search your library for an artifact or dragon spell. Put that card into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Remember that all of your creatures with changeling are all creature types in all zones, so this can grab you any changeling, not just a dragon. In addition, I believe the Arcane Adaptation and the Maskwood Nexus also say that they change the creature types in all zones. You can grab them as well. So just a very good way to break out some stuff. Chameleon Colossus, I think, I wasn't playing the game back then, but I think this was a problem back in the standard days. So it's a 4/4 for 4. With changeling, protection from black, and it also has pay 2 and 2 green. Chameleon Colossus gets +X until end of turn, where X is its power. So if you just have a billion mana just bunching up somewhere, you can spend it all on this, make it huge. It has protection from black, so it's a little bit easier to try and get through to your opponent, and just like try to smack them for a bunch. Feline Sovereign, I play this in my cats deck. It is a 2/3 cat. Other cats you control get +1/+1 and have protection from dogs. Whenever one or more cats you control deal combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls, and it's literally the cat knocking over the cup. This card's great. Dogs beg, cats lay claim. Absolutely can agree. Realm Walker, I actually like this card from back, Kaldheim. I play that in basically any tribal deck that runs green. It's a 2/3 with changeling. As it enters, you choose a creature type. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. So just more cards than what you can do with. Atlapalani, Nest Tender, get ready for eggs. It's a 2/3 legendary human shaman. 2 and tap, create an egg with Defender. Then whenever an egg dies, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Surprise! All your changelings are also eggs, so when they die, you just get more things. The Bears of Litjara, a saga. Chapter 1, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with changeling, so just another dude. Get this in frame a little bit better. Any number of target shapeshifter creatures you control have base power toughness 4/4. Then chapter 3, choose up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Each creature with power 4 or greater you control deals damage equal to its power to that permanent. So gets you a dude, makes something a shapeshifter and power toughness 4/4, and then a little bit of removal. So that's pretty neat. Bernard is recently new. He came out in what? Wilds of Eldraine. Bernard Ginger Sculptor. Each creature you control that is a food or a golem gets +2/+2 and trample. Food is not a creature type. Food is not a creature type, but golem is. So each creature you control that is a food or golem gets +2/+2 and has trample. So whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that is a copy of that creature, except it is a 1/1 food golem artifact creature in addition to its other types, and it has pay 2, tap, sacrifices artifact you gain through life. So it just becomes a regular food. So that's pretty neat. I like Bernard. Bruce Tarl, not the OG one, the new one from OTJ. It's a 4-mana 4/3 legendary human warrior. Oxen you control have double strike, so then all of your changelings have double strike. Whenever Bruce Tarl enters the battlefield or attacks, exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, create a 2/2 white ox creature token, otherwise you may cast it until the end of your next turn. So that's pretty neat, a little bit of card advantage and aggression. Cloud Shredder Sliver, who doesn't love slivers? I love slivers. Very simple. So 2-mana 1/1 sliver. Sliver creatures you control have flying and haste, which is very good and part of my sliver combo in my sliver deck. Kiri, Talented Sprout. This is one from OTJ, one of the alternate commanders. It's a 4-mana 0/3 plant druid. Other plants and tree folk you control get +2/+0. Again, changeling. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, return target plant, tree folk, or land card from your graveyard to your hand. So again, return your changelings once they die, or if you got the Maskwood Nexus, they're already the thing, so you just bring it back, which I think is pretty neat. Ren and Seri Inseparable. This is a pretty important reprint in this deck because it's the only reprint other than another commander deck and the buy a box promo that was it, I want to say like M19. I'm also planning on building a Ren and Seri deck eventually. Probably not until like a couple years from now, but it's a 4-mana 4/4 dog cat, not cat dog. Whenever you cast a dog spell, you make a 1/1 green cat creature token. Whenever you cast a cat spell, create a 1/1 white dog creature token. Then you can pay a red, a green, and a white and tap Ren and Seri to have it deal damage to any target equal to the number of dogs you control. Then you gain life to the number of cats you control. So it's kind of a neat Naya burn life gain deck that cares about both cats and dogs. Well, all your creatures are going to be like a majority cats or dogs, so we'll see how that works out. I'm honestly really excited for this deck. Like, this deck is very interesting to me, and I think it does kind of solve the deck building challenge a little bit. But if you have played this deck or have any like insight on how to make this deck better with any upgrades, go ahead and comment that in the comments below. I'd love to hear any recommendations from you guys, especially 25 minutes into this deck. I'm good at social media, aren't I? Ruka what the fuck? Ruka Rummel, biologist. So for Wooburg, you get a 3/3 human wizard. As it enters, you choose a creature type. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So it's another Maskwood Nexus arcane adaptation. But you can pay 3 and tap it to create a 1/1 colorless sliver creature token. So that's pretty neat. I don't play this in my slivers deck, mainly because I don't play any other type except for slivers in that deck. So I really don't have a need for Ruka Rummel. But yeah, I think it works pretty well in this deck to try just another redundancy effect. Sophia, Dogged Detective. This is from Murders at Karlov Manor. It's a 3/2 human detective. It's the Scooby-Doo and Shaggy rip. Whenever Sophia, Dogged Detective, enters the battlefield, create Tiny, love Tiny, a legendary 2/2 green dog detective creature token with trample. I hope Tiny is in the token slot in here. You can pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact token to put a +1/+1 counter on each dog you control. And whenever a dog you control deals combat damage to a player, create a food token, then investigate. So investigate, you just make a clue token. So I think that's pretty neat. He cares about Dog. Speaking of dogs, this is a dog because it has Changeling. Unsettled Mariner. It's a 2/2 for 2. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. So kind of ward 1 before ward 1. So that's pretty neat. Just an added layer of protection. Realm Breaker, the invasion tree, I think is pretty neat, even though I wouldn't consider it to be a tribal card. So for 3 mana artifact, pay 2 and tap, target opponent mills 3 cards, put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. And you could, or if you have 10 mana, you can tap and sacrifice the Realm Breaker to instead search your library for any number of Praetor cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Praetors are like the Elish Norns, the Shieldrids, the Vorinclexes, the Jin-Gitaxias, and the other one. Urabrask, don't worry. But, again, all their changelings are also Praetors, so just like pay 10, get them from your library directly onto the battlefield is pretty dumb. Land at Darkar Waste. Land, Brushland. I actually needed a Brushland. Should have opened this earlier. Darkwater Catacombs. Land, Exotic Orchard. Great, we have all of our colors. Land, Fabled Passage. Great, love a Fabled Passage. Standard legal, again. Land, Corplusion Forest. Land, Llanowar. There are a lot of these damage lands in here, which I don't really mind. It's just interesting. Mossfire Valley. Land. Murmuring Bosk. I haven't seen this card in ages. So it's a forest, so it has a reminder text, so you can tap it for a green. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a treeful card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. It also can tap for a white or a black and have it deal 1 damage to you. I haven't seen this card in a while. I don't think it's gotten reprinted a lot, but I think it's pretty neat. And also this coloring is very different than all the other lands. Mutavault, I love Mutavault's getting a reprint in Edge of Fraternities, which I'm really excited for. But I remember when this card was in Standard, and it was nuts, and then I played it in Modern, and it was nuts, and now nobody plays Mutavault anymore, which I think is sad, except for like some, I think, Rakdos builds in Pioneer still, maybe? I could be wrong about that, but I love Mutavault. This land is great. It just becomes a 2/2 creature with all creature types until end of turn, so it turns on all your changeling stuff, so that's great. Land, Overflowing Basin. Land, Secluded Glen. Which one's this one? As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a fairy card from your hand. If you don't, it enters tapped. So if you just got a fairy or got a changeling, just enters untapped. It's basically a dual land. Land, Sungrass Prairie. The World Tree. This card's great. Played in any like 5-color deck. It doesn't even have to be like a tribal deck, just any 5-color deck. You can just plop down the World Tree and have it just be good. It'll always enter tapped. It can always tap for a green, but as long as you control 6 or more lands, the lands you control have tap add mana of any 1 color. It also has a Billion effect, where you can pay 2 of each color, tap and sacrifice the World Tree to search your library for any number of god cards, put them onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. All your changelings are also gods, so that's pretty nifty, kind of like, it's the same tree of Realm Breaker, the artifact that was in there, so. Land, Yavimaya Coast, and we're out of the land. So I think these are the commons and uncommons that are in here. So Crib Swap is a pretty neat removal spell. It's a kindred instant shapeshifter. So it also strangely has changeling, so in effect allows you to like return a changeling card from your graveyard or whatever. You can choose this one. Exile target creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with changeling. So it's kind of like a better, I don't want to say better, but like a different generous gift because it exiles for like the same mana cost. The only difference is that it gives the 1/1. Also, this baby's weird. I just want to call out this baby's weird. That's it. Imposter of the Sixth Pride. It's just a 3/1 with changeling. This one could probably be subbed out for something different, but it calls back to oh no, I forget the name of the, something of the Sixth Pride. It's a cat. Well, it's just a callback. Knight, creatures you control have double strike. It's a 2/2, Kinsbale Cavalier. Ooh, all your things are knights. Shields of Velis Vale. This is a tribal instant. Tribal? They didn't fix this one? This one still says tribal. Oh my god. Whatever. So it is a 1 mana changeling spell. Creatures target player controls get +0/+1 and gain all creature types until end of turn. So just 1 mana, turn everything online and give them a little defense boost to help them survive. Look at this face. Look at this guy. He's just a guy. like he looks like his name is, I don't know, fucking Chadswick or whatever. Amoeboid Changeling. It's a 1/1 shapeshifter with Changeling. It can tap to have target creature gain all creature types till end of turn, or have target creature lose all creature types till end of turn. I only play this in one deck, and that is my Slivers deck because I run Sliver Overlord. And Sliver Overlord has an ability where you can pay 3 and gain control of target Sliver. So you tap the Amoeboid Changeling, make something a Sliver, and then you pay 3 to gain control of it. Not like that ever happens in that deck, because I just typically try to combo out with that deck with Slivers, but it is pretty funny whenever I get to pull that off at least once. Arcane Denial, pretty good counterspell. Counter target spell, its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep, then you draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Distant Melody, choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. I also play this in Slivers. Mothus Changeling, I play this in Scarecrows. It's a 1/1 Changeling. Tap an untapped creature you control to give it flying, so you have a little invasive body. Pongify, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller creates a 3/3 green ape creature token. I remember when this card was in every blue deck, and now it's not. Shapesharer, a 1/1 Changeling for 2. Pay 2 and a blue, target shapeshifter becomes a copy of target creature until your next turn. That's pretty interesting. I like that. Graveshifter, just a callback to Grave Digger. The Graveshifter's digging up the Grave Digger. 2/2 with Changeling. When Graveshifter enters the battlefield, you may return a target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Nameless Inversion, another tribal instant. Changeling, target creature gets +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn. So if for whatever reason you need to make something of your own lose a creature type, or if you just want to kill your opponent's creature, that's also perfectly fine. Skeletal Changeling, this is a reassembling skeleton thing. 1/1 Changeling, pay 1 and a black to regenerate Skeletal Changeling. Pretty good. Fire Belly Changeling. I think it's fire breathing. It's like a callback to the original Fire Breather. 1/1 for 2, pay a red. It gets +1/+0 until end of turn, but play this ability no more than twice each turn. That's kind of bad. I feel like we can do a little better than that. Beast Within, everybody likes Beast Within. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token. Mirror Entity can just be a win condition. 1/1 with Changeling, pay X. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. So if you just have an excess amount of mana, just dump it all into Mirror Entity and make all your guys huge. That's pretty neat. It's Cultivate. Everybody loves Cultivate. Everybody loves Farseek, especially in 5-color decks. Gemhide Sliver. This is in my Sliver deck. All Slivers have tap to add 1 mana of any color. So now all your Changeling and other creatures are mana dorks, which is great, which is exactly what you need. Guardian Gladewalker, a 1/1 with Changeling, enters the battlefield, put +1/+1 counter on target creature. That's fine. Harabaz Druid, tap it to add X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is the number of allies you control. So it'll count itself, so you'll at minimum tap it for 1, but with all your Changelings and all of your synergies in this deck, you can absolutely tap it for a butt ton. Kodama's Reach, gotta love ramp. Manawef Sliver, this is similar to, what was the other one that we opened? Gemhide Sliver. It's basically the same thing. Sliver creatures you control have tap will add 1 mana any color. So while the Gemhide Sliver says all Slivers, even your opponents, can do that, Manawef Sliver is just your own. Also, I love how they return to like the really? A fire whistle? Sorry about that. I have no idea why the fire department was so intrusive. Everything's fine, nothing to worry about. But all this to say, while the Gemhide Sliver makes all Slivers, including your opponent's, tap for a mana, Manawef Sliver only makes your slivers able to tap, which is pretty neat. Especially if you like give your opponent like takes control of a shapeshifter you control. Plus, I also just wanted to say that I like how they redesigned the M15 slivers, the humanoid slivers, to more of these alien slivers. Masked Vandal, 1/3 with Changeling. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So just neat removal there. Moret of the Frost, a legendary snow creature. Snow is not a creature type, but it also has Changeling, so it is every creature type. You may have Moret of the Frost enter the battlefield as a copy of a permanent you control, except it's legendary, and snow in addition to its other types, and it is a creature. It enters with two additional +1/+1 counters on it if it has Changeling. So that's a pretty good copy spell. Risen Reef is a dumb elemental that made Standard a living nightmare back in the day. It's a 1/1 for 3. Whenever Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put that card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. So this can just snowball into a bunch of ramp. Spoils of Adventure. This is a 6-mana instant, but the spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. So your party consists of up to, your party consists of up to 1 each of, that's weird, Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard. So as long as you have like 4 Changelings, you can cast this for 2 mana, where you gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. So that's pretty neat. Ooh, and we got some ramp here. We got a neat Arcane Signet, that's great. Bloodline Pretender, so it's a 2/2 artifact creature with Changeling. As it enters, you choose a creature type. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control of the chosen type, put a +1/+1 counter on Bloodline Pretender. So this thing, like the Taurian Mauler, can get huge, but not as huge. Universal Automaton, I play this in Scarecrows because it's very cheap and there aren't very many good Scarecrows. It's an artifact creature shapeshifter with Changeling. It's a 1/1 for 1. That's it. Pretty simple. Ooh, more land. Ancient Amphitheater, same thing as the blue-black Fairyland, where as it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a giant card from your hand. If you don't, it enters tapped, but it taps for one or the other of red or white. Arcane Sanctum, a good tri-land. Everybody loves the tri-lands. Command Tower, always good to see a reprint. Frontier Bivouac, the Teamer tri-land. Gilt Leaf Palace, as it enters, same thing, but with elves. Jungle Shrine, the Naya Tri-Land, Opulent Palace, the Sultai Tri-Land, Path of Ancestry, which is pretty neat. As it enters the battlefield tapped, and then you can tap it, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. It's 5 colors, so it taps for any 1 color. But when that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Your commander is all a creature type, so whenever you tap your Path of Ancestry for mana to cast a creature spell, you'll always scry 1. Seaside Citadel, good Bant tri-land. Wanderwine Hub, same land, but for merfolk. And we got some basics. So we got some cool planes. Ooh, look at the doggo. Look at the doggo. It's a butterflies. I love that. Island, swamp. Only 1 swamp, all right. Mountain, forest. And then we have our tokens, and there's the tiny token. I love this token. He just looks so derpy. He's mid-run, he's enjoying himself, he's a good doggo, he's got trample, he's a detective, he's great. And I think these are also double-sided. Yep, so there's the City's Blessing emblem that you can get. There's a shapeshifter, cat. All these tokens are really pretty. They really up their art game here, which I really enjoy. Look at the puppy! Look at the little guy! I just want to pet these. Food, ugly food. Plant, pretty plant. Treasure. Egg. There's a clue, it's a boot. And there's a copy token, a pretty psychedelic copy token. There's the Fairy Rogue for the Bitter Blossom. I like how they're reusing the Secret Lair artwork. Yeah, this is the Secret Lair artwork. No, this is the... It's not the Secret Lair artwork. I thought they were reusing the artwork. They're not. Ox. It's from Wilds of Eldraine. Monkey. Pongify. There's the Saproling. That's a pretty cute Saproling. Kind of reminds me of like a little hermit crab. Another Monkey. Oh, that's a pretty sliver. That's way better than the humanoid sliver token that I've been using for my sliver decks. I think I'm gonna have to switch that out. Another Saproling. And here we got the pretty tokens. So here we got this cool 2/2 changeling shapeshifter. And I don't think these are, no, they're not double-sided. But they're pretty, they're foil. What is this supposed to be? Some sort of ooze? I don't know what this is supposed to be, but he's here and he's having a glass of wine. I think this is a goblin or some sort of gremlin. He's enjoying himself. And the last one, a cool little snake. Ooh, and our bonus card, we got a Changeling Outcast. So it is a 1-mana 1/1 with Changeling. This creature can't block and can't be blocked. So that's pretty neat. Sometimes standing out helps you fit in. How inclusive. I think I played this card in Scarecrows because there aren't really that many good Scarecrows, so I just put it in there. So that'll be a fun time. But yeah, that is Everyone's Invited Commander Secret Lair deck featuring Morophon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. The next video I plan on making, I've secured a Final Fantasy pre-release kit, so I'm going to be opening this up on camera and do something similar to what I did last time, where I'm going to open this up and try to build a sealed deck. I know Final Fantasy is long past, like over a month, but I feel like a lot of people can learn some valuable information from my deck building. So, with that, that's all I got for you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.